Shalom, family. Welcome to On Purpose Ministries, where we, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, help you, my brothers and sisters, find your purpose so you can live in purpose, walk with purpose, and do everything on purpose. I am your sister, Rashida, and we welcome you. So, family, I'm coming to you today with a word of encouragement. This is something that has been weighing heavy on my spirit for the last few days, and I just been avoiding talking about it. I've been delaying coming on here and releasing the word. So first I, invite Holy Spirit in to speak whatever needs to be spoken to whoever needs to hear this word today. This word is for those who people label the strong one, who is the poorer in every relationship. This message is for those who everybody depend on, who everybody can count on, who everybody can trust, who everybody comes to when they need to be filled again. This message is for you today. So this has been weighing heavy on my spirit, and I just been crying out to the Most High these last few days about it. And I just was talking to him and talking to the Father. And I was just like, Father, we get tired too. We need people to pour into us too. We get exhausted. We go through things. We go through trials. We go through tribulations. We have our own problems that we're dealing with in our own life. But yet, we're always willing to put it to the side for everybody else. We're always willing to be last just so others can be first. We're always willing to put our dreams, to put our goals, to put our visions to the side, to go out and assist everybody else. We're always willing to help. But when it's our time and we need people to help us, and we need people to pour into us, and we need people to put some things to the side to come and assist us, the help is not there. We can't find the help that we give. We can't find the type of support that we give to others. We can't find the type of love that we freely give to others. We can't find us in everybody else. They can depend on us. They can trust us. But at the end of the day, we cannot depend on them and we cannot trust them. And that's why I said when God gets ready to elevate you, he humbles you so you can see who truly has your back. So you can see who can't go with you. He allows you to go through that. He allows us to go through that so we can see how people treat us when we're at our lowest. And it don't even have to be your lowest, financially and stuff like that. It's just when you in need, just in need. When people see that you're in need, how they treat you. But when everything is all good, and they can get this and they can get that from you, they're the kindest people, the sweetest people, the most supportive people. But when their well runs dry and there's nothing left for them to take from you, everything changes. They're different. They don't treat you the same. They don't respect you the same. They don't support you the same. So this word will be just bear with me as I get through this word. Because like I said, the Father has been placing it's been a lot of things on my spirit that's been weighing heavy on my spirit these last days. Like I said, I've been crying out to the Father about it and just really talking to him about it. Like I said, this is for those who are in leadership roles. Even if those who are have a ministry. Those who give. Give. But don't receive much or if anything in return. Because people expect you to always give to them. They expect you to just freely give and freely give and freely give. But if you ask those same people for who have benefited from you and all the things that you have done and all the support that you have given them, you have helped so many people. But ain't none of them there. When it's your turn to be in need, and God allows us to experience that, because we need to see that we are just as important as they are. Yes, God tells us to give. Yeah, God tells us to support. Yeah, God tells us to do these things. But he never wanted us to forget about ourselves. And that's where the frustration comes in, because we feel like God is putting more on us than we can bear. But God, and a lot of the things that we are going through right now is not that God put that on us. It's things that we have allowed, things that we have accepted, because we think that God wants us to do this, be this way towards everybody. And he's not calling us to be that way towards everybody. He might tell you to go bless that brother or that sister in that way, but the next brother and sister, he might not even be telling you to do anything for them. But we get in the habit of being the one that everybody can count on. And it drains you and it frustrates you, because we take on assignments that God did not intend us to take on. He didn't tell you to pour into everybody. He didn't tell you to give to everybody. He didn't tell you to support everybody. He didn't tell us to do those things. But we get in the habit of doing those things because that's just the kind of heart that we have. And that's why people take advantage of us. That's why people feel like they can run over us. That's why people feel like they can treat us the way that they treat us. Because that's the type of behavior. That's what we allow them to do. And God is calling us out of that. He's calling us out of that season where God is taking us, where the Most High is taking us. We cannot be the same people we are right now that we have been. A lot of those yeses that we've been giving will have to become no's. A lot of the support that we have been giving to others gonna have to stop. It's gonna have to stop. Especially if you get married to your partner. Especially my sisters, you get married to a man. The man, that all that stuff that you doing, all that support, that giving, and all, this it's gonna be shut down. He not a true man of God. Ain't gonna go for that. He is not going to go for that. So God is calling us out of that. Taking on all these assignments. God put you on certain assignments. He told you to do certain things. He told you to connect yourself with certain people. Everybody cannot have access to you where God is taking you. Everybody can't go. They cannot have access to you. And sometimes it may feel, the journey may feel lonely, especially because you right now, you just, for those who are still waiting to be joined with their spouse, it can be lonely when God just have you to yourself and he has you doing all these assignments and you're like, okay, God, but can you send me some help? And it's coming. But understand this, that God is just preparing us for what he is calling us to do, the next level that he is taking us on. So if you've been feeling frustrated and just overwhelmed, it's because God is telling us to stop. Stop giving these people access to you. Shut it down. Cut it off, no matter who it is. Stop. We have to stop. We have to stop lending ourselves to jumping at every opportunity to help somebody, jumping at every opportunity to support somebody, jumping at every opportunity to give to somebody. Because of our hearts. We see this brother or this sister struggling. We're like, oh, let me go do this. We see this brother and sister started a business or whatever. Let me go support them. We see them doing this. We always want to show them that, okay, look, I'm here. I'm in your corner. But did God tell us to be in their corner? Did God tell us to go support them? Did God tell us to go give to them? He's calling us to stop. Let it go. Everybody cannot have access to you. Listen, God called you for a greater purpose here on this earth. He called you. He chose you. Out of all the people he could have chosen on this earth, he chose you to do what it is that he called you to do. So if he's telling you no, then it's no. Don't give these people access to you anymore. It has to stop now. They cannot go. When God brings you and your spouse together, these people cannot be around. If they draining you now, what you think they're gonna do when you're married to your spouse, when you and your spouse marriage is restored? No. So God is calling you away from these people. He's calling you away from these things. Stop. Don't support nobody. Don't do none of that if God has not told you to do it. Yeah, it may hurt because you're used to being the one that everybody can count on, but the one that everybody need to count on is God. That's who they need to count on. Not you, not me, not us. Go count on God. See, sometimes we get in the way of people being in relationship with God because they don't feel the need to go to him for anything, because you're there and we're there to get them everything that they think that they need. So God is saying stop. The only one they need to count on is God, the Most High. That's who they need to go to. You are not everybody's support system. You are not. God did not call you to do that. The ones that he called you to do that for, he will let you know. But if he didn't tell you to do it, don't do it. You wearing yourself out. We frustrating ourselves. The journey is already enough. We don't need no added stress. We don't. So I was talking to him. I was talking to the Father, and I was talking to a sister about this the other day as well. Like I said, a lot has been weighing heavy on my spirit. How the ones who are truly blessed, the ones who are truly anointed, the ones who are chosen, the ones who are gifted, are the ones that are rejected, the ones that are overlooked, the ones that are ignored. And you see that throughout the Bible. Why? If these men and women of God are truly anointed, they're truly gifted, and people claim to want to be in relationship with God, they claim to want to get closer to him and live a life that's pleasing and acceptable to his life, why won't they draw to those people? Why won't they support those people? Why won't they help those people if they truly call themselves to be believers? And these men and women of God are the ones that God put out there into this earth to do his mission. Why don't they get the support and help that other people get? You see that throughout the Bible. You see that in the world. And I was talking to God. I said, the main thing is because people, let's see, how can I say this? When it comes to looking blessed, if you don't look the part, then people gonna ignore you. They gonna reject you because people equate being blessed to having financial things. They don't care about what's in you. They care about what's on the outside of you. What do you have physically that I can see and equate to you being blessed? So say if God told you to go preach about finance, or he has anointed you to be an accountant or something like that, and you in that field and you teach finances, and say you have a course and you charge such and such price, and somebody else have a course and they charge way more than you charge. Say you only charge $120 to have a meeting with a potential client to go over to help them with their finances, and somebody else may be charging $1,500 just for an hour. But don't know, but they're not an anointed or gifted to do it like you are. But since they look the part and you don't look the part, people automatically are going to reject you. And they're going to be willing, which sounds crazy, they're going to be willing to pay that $1,500 versus that $120 that you are offering, just because that other person looks like they know what they're talking about. They look like their finances are together. Versus you might be in a regular home, have a regular vehicle. You don't have the riches that they are looking for. You don't have the evidence or proof of what they're looking for in their financial advisor. So for you to say God anointed you to do this, but I don't believe God anointed you to do this, because if God anointed you to teach me about finances, why hasn't God blessed your finances? I need you to look like where I'm trying to get. That's how people are. I need you to look. I want to be wealthy, so I need you in order for you to teach me about finances. Even though God has gifted you to teach me about finances, I don't want to hear anything you have to say because you don't look like where I'm trying to go. So people bypass you, they ignore you, they reject you because you don't look like where they're trying to go. Even though God has anointed you to do what it is that you are doing, you don't look like where they're trying to go. So even though you're charging me 120, and even though that's more convenient for me, I'm going to have to pass on you. And I'm going to have to go support this person over here who is a millionaire, who's charging me $1,500 an hour. I'd rather go pay them because they look like where I'm trying to go. Even though they're not anointed to teach me, even though they're not anointed to help me, even though you know more, way more than they do, and you can help me way more than they can, I don't want your help. I don't want your support. I don't want to hear anything you have to say because you don't look like where I'm trying to go. And that's how it is. And that's how it has been for many of you. Because you don't look the part. Just like David. Because you don't look the part. I'd rather choose one of these people who look like they know what they're talking about. They look like they're blessed. I'm going to support them. And that's what I was crying out to God about. I was like, God, you know, Father, I said, I'm getting real tired of having to feel like I have to prove myself to people. I said, I'm tired of that. I said, you call me to do certain things. I said, but I don't look the part. So people not going to want to hear what I have to say because I don't look the part. You got me speaking about marriage, but I'm not married. So people going to be like, I don't want to hear what she got to say. How you going to tell me about marriage and God ain't even brought you your spouse yet? How you going to teach me about healing and blessings and you don't look healed and you don't look blessed? You always asking for support from others. This is me being honest. This was the conversation that I was having with God. I said, God, that's why I said, Father, I don't want to ask your children for nothing. If you place it on, your children's spirit to do something, then so be it. But I said, I did that throughout this journey, especially at the beginning. And people labeled me a beggar. And they would say things like, why won't you just charge for your books? And I'm like, no, because it's not about the money for me. I'm going to do the ministry the way God has told me to do it. Now, if he tell me to write a book and charge for it, then I will do it. But until he tells me to, he gives to me the information that he gives to me, then freely I'm going to give to my brothers and sisters. But I can ask for support and people will look like, I ain't supporting her. Y'all know how it goes. But somebody else who could have a ministry, who's wealthy, can say, y'all know what? I'm raising money for this foundation I'm trying to build. Or I'm raising money for this project God has told me to do. And even though they got millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever the case may be, and they're actually financially stable to actually do their project on their own because they look the part, people are going to go in their pockets and give their last to support that ministry. Why? Because they look like they're blessed. They look like where that person is trying to go versus a ministry who may be struggling financially, may be working a 9 to 5. And if they need help and support, people going to automatically no. Why? Because they don't look like where they're trying to go. If God has blessed you, if God has gifted you, why do you need help? They don't say that to the other people. So when God, for those who are truly called by God, your journey is so much harder because it's like you have to constantly prove that God sent you. And like I said, when you look throughout the Bible, you see that how the ones that he truly sent, they had to constantly, they had to constantly prove, okay, I'm here. God sent me. Like I think about Moses when he had to go to Pharaoh to deliver the children of Israel from there. He had to constantly prove. The children of Israel, they didn't want to go with him. They rather stay where they was at. Why? Because Pharaoh looked like he knew what he was talking about. They was comfortable there. So I don't want you to be discouraged if you have always found yourself in a position where you feel like you had to prove yourself. You don't have to prove yourself to nobody. God anointed you for that assignment. God anointed you for that marriage. God anointed you for that business, that career, whatever field he has called you to. God has anointed you for that. And the tables are truly about to turn, because when God blesses you with everything that you need and you actually look like you're supposed to be there, all those people that rejected you, all those people that ignored you, all those people that overlooked you are going to be at your door, asking for your help, asking for your support. But now, when the tables turn, they won't have access to you. See, God gave them the opportunity to have it when you was just when we was just what people would consider a nobody. You freely offer your time, you freely offer your support, you freely gave, but they didn't want it. But when God crowns you in the eyes of all people, and they see that now you look like you supposed to be here. You look like, you don't only just sound blessed, but you actually, it matches up. Now you look blessed. Okay, now I want to hear what you're talking about. Okay, now I want to take your course. Okay, now I want you to teach me about my nope. Access denied. Now you're going to have to pay the price. See, when it was free, you didn't want it. When the prices was cheap, you didn't want it. When you thought I was a nobody, you didn't want it. But now God has crowned me. He has crowned you. They're going to be at your door. Because now you're about to look like you're blessed. You're about to look like where they're trying to get to. You're about to look the part. This entire time you didn't look like God called you. You didn't look blessed. All the hell you had to go through, you didn't look blessed. Your finances wasn't blessed. Your living situation wasn't blessed. Your relationship, your marriage wasn't blessed. But yet God calls you to do these things, but people didn't want to hear from you. People didn't want to receive you. People didn't want to support you. People didn't want to help you because you didn't look the part. Who are you in their eyes to tell them what God has told you to tell them, and you don't even look like God is helping you in that area? That's how people are. That's how people have judged you. That's how people have judged me. That's how people have judged us. But God is saying, the Most High is saying, the tables are turning. And now that you're about to look the part, all of those people are going to come back. But the access they once had has now been denied. So that's what God is telling us, what the Most High is telling us. Cut off access to these people. It's time. Cut it off. Ain't no proving yourself. Ain't no offer no support. Ain't no offer no. They don't want it. You have tried everything. They did not want your help. They did not want you on that job. They did not want you in that position. They did not want you. They didn't want to support your business. But now, now that you about to look the part, now that you about to look like where they're going to, now that you finally look blessed, they're going to come back around. But the access has been denied. So I want to encourage my brothers and sisters on today. Though they may rejected you, though they have ignored you, though they have overlooked you, though they counted you as nothing. Remain humble, but cut off access to them all. And don't allow nobody to get close to you. Now that God is elevating you, don't allow nobody to get close to you that he has not told you to allow in. You have to protect what God has blessed you with at all costs. Just 1 second, somebody's at my door. Sorry, somebody was at my door, but yeah, so basically things are getting ready to change in your life, and God is elevating you, and he's calling you into a higher position. Things are really about to take off in every area in your life all at one time. It will be breakthrough after breakthrough, miracle signs and wonders, healing and deliverance, things that you have been praying for, things that you have been fighting for, things that you have sacrificed for and fast for all of this time on this journey is all about to happen at one time on the heel of another. So God is calling you to cut off access to people. Let them go. Let them think what they want to think. Hey, let them think what they want to think about you. God is blessing you. And don't worry about who believes what God has told you. As long as you believe what he has told you, as long as you believe what he has shown you. Be quiet about the moves that God is getting ready to do in your life. Don't mention it. Don't speak on it until he brings it all to pass. You don't need any unnecessary warfare. You don't need no attacks, no secret people, animosity or jealousy around you, and people, doing all sorts of things to try to delay what God is doing in your life. But now that you're about to look the part, they're going to be all up in your face. Once you couldn't even get them on the phone. You couldn't get them. You couldn't even get a moment of their time. But watch how they come back around all up in your face. Girl, I knew you would always be. Brother, I just knew that vision you said God gave you. I just knew. No, you didn't know nothing because you didn't believe in it. But now they're going to pretend like they believed in you this whole time. Use your discernment and remember what God has shown you and told you about these people. Remember how they treated you when you was at your lowest. Remember how they treated you when they marked you as a nobody. Forgive them, but cut off access. So stay encouraged, be blessed, and know that God is turning around. Now you about to look the part. Don't allow nobody in. Access has been denied. So I pray you have an amazing day. For y'all who are new to the ministry, to the channel, you can go to the link in the description box, the Shopify link, to get any of the free books. I pray that you stay encouraged throughout this day and be blessed. Shalom.